everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. Now, we don't have any super thanks today, but I do want to remind y'all, don't forget to give me a thumbs up on this video. If you have any hypes left, hype your girl up. And if you hadn't subscribed, go down below, find the subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. Yes, be a part of our tribe. And with all that said, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. And y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets. And that's exactly where I have been. Yes, I've been on these internet streets, and it is a lot going on still. Squatties are still on a high from Megan getting nominated for a daytime Emmy. I'm telling you, squatties are over the moon. They are. And let me tell you, the ugly old hags, the derangers, and the trolls, they are in full cardiac arrest. They're talking about boycotting the Emmys. They're talking about it's not a big deal. I mean, they are pulling all the rabbits that they have out of their hats, but none of it is landing because we all know if the shoe was on the other foot and Kitty was getting any kind of award, they would rent a plane with a banner behind it saying that Kitty finally won an award. I mean, earned it. Yes, they would absolutely go all out, but they want to try to rain on our parade. But they can't because it's only sunny skies over here. Yes, yes, yes. And the squatties are absolutely loving the crash outs. Yes, the crash outs are epic. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about our favorite prince. It looks like that podcast that he was on that has gone through the roof. Yes, it is getting so many views. We're going to talk about that. And he made the cover of People magazine. Yes, we're going to talk about that. And they wrote about how even though him and Charles have made steps to improve their relationships, the relationship between him and Willie, Peggy, has not improved. And we're going to talk about that just a little bit. And it looks like Charles and his horse has been leaking. Yes, surprise, surprise. Now, one of his so-called stipulations for Harry and Meghan was to keep this whole royal reunion completely private. We all knew that that was bullshit. They went right on and leaked some of the details of the reunion. So we're going to talk about that. Oh, Katie Nichols in Vanity Fair. She got her mouth a flapping. And we're going to talk about that. And we have some other stuff. It looks like the Daily Fail has lost a big court case that we didn't know anything about. And I'm telling you, the details are delicious. And we're going to talk about that as well. So y'all need to buckle up and lock in because you know I'm not going to keep you long, but I will keep you entertained. And we are going to start with this. And of course, I am going to start with Zanny Sussex. She posted Megan's post that she posted over on her Instagram page about being nominated for an Emmy. And Megan said a huge congratulations to the amazing crew, producers, and team who worked on With Love Megan on Netflix. It says, we are nominated for an Emmy for Outstanding Lifestyle Series. Yes, come on through, Megan, and get your flowers, girl. Get your flowers. Zanny posted this and said, Megan's response to her Emmy nomination says everything about her character. The very first people she thanked were the producers and crew behind With Love Megan. Always classy, always kind. Yes, yes, yes. I am over the moon, y'all. And don't forget to go over to Megan's Instagram page and show our girl some love. Yes, go over there and give her a like on this post because we are proud of her and we want her to know how proud we are of her. So, yeah, go on over to her Instagram page and show our girl some love. And this squatty posted the two posts from Megan's bestie and her hairstylist. It says Megan's bestie, Abigail Spencer, and her hairstylist, Ben Sherwin, are congratulating the Duchess of Sussex for her With Love Megan Emmy nomination. How sweet. It is very, very sweet. And as you can see, Megan made the Washington Post. She did. It says Duchess of Sussex earns a Daytime Emmy nomination for Netflix With Love Megan. Megan, the Duchess of Sussex, has earned a Daytime Emmy nomination for her Netflix show. Yes, straight from one of the most prestigious newspapers in America. And this squatty that posted it said, to be honest, I don't think that even the Emmys expected to get this much publicity today. She's an economy booster. Where's the lie? You put Megan's name on it, it will be talked about. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I am so happy about this. And of course, Sky News Australia is just so perplexed. They don't understand exactly what has happened. Why has Megan got a Emmy nomination? This is what it says. It says royal fans around the world has been left scratching their heads after Meghan Markle's Netflix show With Love Megan was nominated for an Emmy Award despite being axed earlier this year. Yeah, was it axed or was Megan not really up to continuing it? Because let's not get it twisted. It was the highest rated cooking show in its category on Netflix. So why would Netflix cancel it if Megan wanted to continue it? It served its purpose. It was supposed to help launch as ever. It did that. I don't understand why it's so hard to understand and why you are left scratching your head. All you got to do is run the numbers. Why are you scratching your head? But these people, they live in an echo chamber. They put out garbage, and when garbage comes back, they think everybody is trash. And in actuality, they don't try to report the news. They create it. And they created in their echo chamber that Megan's show was a flop. And in actuality, if they had just ran the numbers, they would have saw it was a hit. And nobody who was paying attention is surprised or scratching their heads about this Emmy nomination. We are not surprised. And who is these royal fans scratching their heads? They're not Meghan and Harry fans, I'll tell you that. They're not squatties because squatties are not surprised. And this squatty went under that Sky News report and said, they're scratching their heads because they're a bunch of idiots who live in an echo chamber in which rags like you convince them that Meghan is hated globally. Get a whiff of the real world, losers. Your hate is only loud on Twitter, not the real world. Where is the lie? Because every time Harry and Meghan go out in the real world, they're welcome. They are revered. They are respected. They are loved. And you cannot pay any attention to people like old pie-faced Taz, that man who is a woman who says he's a woman who's a man, yes, the one that calls himself a lady. You cannot go by all of these flying monkeys and these ugly old hags, toadies, and haters. They are not the majority. They're not. They are the minority. And look at all the papers, all the news organizations here in America that has wrote an article about Megan being nominated for a daytime Emmy. We have the Chicago Tribune, we have the Toronto Star, that would be in Canada, and it just goes on and on and on. And I have saw a write up about this pretty much from all the major news organizations here in America. Yes, this is big, big news, and I love it. And this squatty said the way these bitter UK media outlets keep refusing to address Meghan correctly, AP and other reputable media will keep reminding them that it's simply a matter of getting the facts right. They got her back. Yes, they said the Duchess of Sussex, the Duchess of Sussex, the Duchess of Sussex, because that's her name. Breaking news said, Meghan, you're the woman who refused to be punished by morally bankrupt tossers who mistook privilege for virtue. People who would never have earned respect on merit had they not been born into wealth, and is being propped up by those who confuse status with accomplishment. Woo! That one right there, it hits, doesn't it? Because that's exactly what is going on across the pond. Willie, Kitty, Charles, and the horse have never done anything. Charles has done more than all of them, let's be honest. His Princess Trust has done a lot now, but it came with a lot of dirty money. So you have to balance that out. But the horse, Willie, and Kitty, they have done nothing. Nothing. And that part that really hits for me is where it says people who would have never earned respect on merit had they not been born into wealth, and is being propped up by those who confuse status with accomplishment. That one right there really hits. And I'll tell you why it hits, because they don't get Meghan, because Meghan is a worker. Meghan has made things happen for herself. She has gotten out into the world and become a multimillionaire, the richest woman to ever marry into the institution. And they didn't know what to do with her because she wasn't one of them, a poser, a parasite, a faker, one who has had everything given to them. They fell out of the birth canal and people applauded. And that right there was their highest achievement. And it was being born. So they really did not get Meghan because Meghan was a high achiever. Meghan was a worker. Meghan was a goal setter and a goal achiever. They could not get that. They have been told what to do their whole lives. Look at Willie and Kitty. They walk around like a clown show, copying Harry and Meghan because they don't know what else to do, because they never had to create anything. They've never had to have an imagination or anything of the sort because they have always been told what to do. I saw this write up. I think it was in a book or something. I can't remember. But they said Charles said he would not know what to do if he was left on his own. He didn't even have just normal skills to be able to take care of himself because everything has been taken care of for him. Yes. So that is the reason why they don't get Meghan, because Meghan is a go getter. She is a home run hitter. Yes. And these people don't even know how to play the game or any of the rules. They just show up like they did at Wimbledon and expect people to applaud. I mean, Kitty out there just smiling and grinning with an award that she did not earn, and they put her on the front page. I mean, Just nonsense stuff like that. And we're supposed to be surprised that Meghan couldn't thrive in that environment. This woman who has always hit home runs, who has always never been afraid to get in the game, she was going to thrive in that environment? I don't think so. His squatty said they told her to go back to her country, and now she's on track to grab a Emmy Award. Yes, they told Meghan to leave, and she did. And she did what she has always done, even before she became a part of that family. And that is to win. Meghan is a winner. And what do winners do? They win. And this squatty said, you know what's funny? Even if Meghan doesn't win, With Love Meghan will have the Emmy nominated show accolade from now on. Exactly. Exactly. It will always be a Emmy nominated show. I love it. And as for the derangers, they are in cardiac arrest. I kid you not. And this post right here from this squatty just absolutely took me out. It is like a meme, and this doctor is on this patient trying to bring him back to life. It is so funny. And this squatty said, Doctor, deranger down. Oxygen, CPR. What happened? Nurse, Duchess Meghan received an Emmy nomination today. Doctor with this little sly smile. Yes, I'm telling you, all of the derangers are in cardiac arrest. They are absolutely out of it. They are on oxygen. They are flat on their backs. They are absolutely in cardiac arrest over this nomination. Yes, they absolutely are on the floor. They cannot get up. They are like that old commercial, I've fallen and I can't get up. The derangers can't get up. And this squatty said they are crashing out. Hashtag Meghan's Emmy nomination has the children of Satan in tears, searching for her breath like they are having an asthma attack. Not calling them the children of Satan, searching for a breath like they're having an asthma attack. I cannot. That took me out. Oh my God, I cannot with squatties. His squatty said, derangers, stick to your fake polls about the fading royal family and that ugly future king winning most handsome bald man of all time when he literally gets roasted because he looks like Camilla's real son. And stop having a meltdown under our tweets and stop having a meltdown under our tweets about With Love Meghan's Emmy nomination. Yes, you can't post anything. I mean, we had some trolls in our comments today. We did. They are losing it. They see our posts, they see our joy, and they cannot handle it. Here they come in the comments, but you know me, I don't have nothing but smoke for that.
You cannot. Hold on. Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit,
no.
activate. Holy Spirit, activate. 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 All right, let's go.
And they are coming in comments. They are. You can't post anything. You cannot have joy for your fave without them coming in talking nonsense. And all I can say is I always have something for that arse when you come in my comments. This squatty said the derangers and the press thought Harry and Meghan's life was ruined, mocking the outcome of the court case and where he would stay in London. Now they're crying and angry because he had a successful week. He achieved the meeting he wanted with his father, and Meghan received an Emmy nomination. You know You know they can't get up off the floor. I am thinking back to that old hag dragon who posted a picture of Yankee Wally talking about she wished that Yankee Wally had lived long enough to see Harry lose his case. Yes, I wonder what she's thinking about now. Yes, the one that got so angry with me that she went to the Twitter police and had me put in Twitter jail. Why? Because I simply went in her comments and just commented on the fact that she was talking about Yankee Wally. And all I did was go in the comments because I was in my feelings and said, if you are such a good friend of Yankee Wally's, why did Yankee Wally lay over there in her apartment for 3 weeks until she rotted off the bone?
Yo, shout the season, man. Shout the season, man.
That takes me out every time I say it. Sometimes I just crack myself up. But yeah, I wonder what she's thinking because they really thought they had one up on us. Yes, they thought our faves were down and out for the count. They did not have any idea that Harry and Meghan was going to make the comeback. Yes, I'm telling you, a new week comes around and Harry and Meghan are still the winners we always knew they were. Yes. And when you look at what Harry did, Harry put a W on the board. And now here Meghan coming up right behind him to put another one on the board. Yes, they cannot handle it. And I just love it for the Derangers. I do. They are sick. They are. This squatty said the smear and sabotage campaign is what failed. Prince Harry and Meghan have succeeded and are exceeding through it, in spite of it, and at times because of it. That is so true. Because they can't help themselves. They help Harry and Meghan because when we talk about how many views Harry has gotten on that podcast, you know that's a lot of hate watching going on. It's not just us squatties watching what Harry and Meghan is doing. No, it is a lot of people, good people, that are watching them, but it's also a lot of haters. And this squatty goes on and says, Prince Harry and Meghan, the couple who thrives under intense fire. Where is the lie? Where is it? And let's look at how many views that podcast that Harry was on, just a few days ago. This squatty said Prince Harry has racked up nearly 12 million views on Joe Marler. We will see you now IG page in the last 5 days. Yes, in the last 5 days, Harry has gotten over 12 million views. And as you can see, look at here. Look at here. This is all the views that Harry has gotten on all the clips on Josh Marler's IG page. Yes, Harry absolutely brings in the eyeballs, and you can say whatever you want to about him. That is a fact. Yes, almost 12 million views. Can Willie do that? No. Can Kitty do that? No. Can the horse do that? No. Can King Charles III do that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is the reason why they hate on Harry and they hate on Meghan, because Harry and Meghan are winners and they have the shine. And you want to know why I know King Charles III can't bring in the eyeballs like Prince Harry? Look at this. This just came out today. How embarrassing. It says the King's Sandrium Summer Music Festival gets canceled. This last beacon of hope has fallen through at the 11th hour. And you know why? Because they could not give those tickets away. They could not. You think Harry and Meghan couldn't sell out a music festival? We all know they could. But the King of the United Kingdom cannot sell out a music festival with his name on it. And Zanny posted about it, and this is what she posted. It says, King Sandrium Music Festival canceled over low sales and high costs. Last minute cancellation. The Sandrium Heritage Live Festival set for August was canceled after a financial rescue package fell through. Multiple venues affected. Heritage Live events at Englandfield and Altley Inn estates were also scrapped, impacting fans across 3 counties. I don't think it impacted too many fans because they wasn't buying the tickets. Industrial struggles. Organizers blame low ticket sales, soaring costs, and competition from large multinational promoters for the decision. He cannot even sell tickets to his own festival with his own name on it. Zanny said this, laugh out loud. They keep claiming that titles guarantee success, yet here the guy with the biggest title of them all, and he's failing. Exactly. They keep saying it's Harry and Meghan's titles. It's Harry and Meghan's titles that makes them successful. They're nothing without the titles. If it's titles, why can't the king sell tickets at his own music festival? It makes no sense. I mean, I'm sure him and the horse was going to show up, but people still didn't feel that the ticket was worth it, even if he showed up with his horse. Yes, I'm loving this. I am. And this squatty said, but I thought titles from the British royal family made all the difference. Surely the king's titles should ensure success, right? Isn't that how it works? Yeah, that's how they want us to believe it works. That's why I say I don't care if they take those titles from Harry and Meghan. Winners do what they do best, and that's win. And Harry and Meghan are proven winners. This squatty said if titles guaranteed success, why Sophie and Edward failed? Now they have to earn via illegal renting stables. Why did the future Queen St. Kate Middleton's mother's business went bankrupt? Because it was not a real business. It was a facade. It was a front in order to put her daughter in the way of the future King Damazarok. And that was what that all was about. Those people never had money. You can never convince me that that was a viable company. I bet you they were robbing Peter to pay Paul, trying to make it to the finish line until their daughter ran a successful honeypot on the dumb prince. And not long after the I do's were said, that business crumbled like a house of cards. And you can see what a big joke her brother is. He doesn't work. I don't think he has anything going for him because everything he tries, all the businesses, all the dog food, all the books that sell about 14 copies, is always a flop. But I digress. Harry and Meghan are always going to win, and taking those titles are only going to make them more popular, more sympathetic. They are absolutely going to soar after that. So all I can say is take the titles and shut the F up. All right, I want to show y'all this. Prince Harry made the cover of People magazine, and it says Harry's royal reunion at last. His family visits Charles as a new drama unfolds. And this is what they're pretty much talking about. This is the article. It says Prince William and Prince Harry still have no contact despite Harry's reunion with King Charles exclusive. There has been no movement, especially on William's side, a source tells People in the week's exclusive cover story. When you look at that cover of People, you don't think the story should be about Harry and William. It should be about Harry and Charles. William continues to impose himself into a situation, into a story that is not about him. And you can see it time and time and time again. He does it all the time. He doesn't know that it is plenty of situations that are not about him, but he always tries to center himself. And I am willing to bet you the exclusive, the person behind that is that butter teeth Jason Knopf. And his people have been talking to People, and that is where they got this story. Instead of the story being about Harry and his father, it's about Harry and William, somebody Harry's not even talking to. He has no contact with. Why is it anything more to say? Why is it a story about nothing? But I can't with these people. This squatty said William is losing it over the family visit. He's been briefing nonstop to his minions how he ain't taking Harry's calls. Willie, no one is calling you. That's Kate pranking you, playing on your insecurities. Yes, in this story, they say that William is not taking Harry's calls. I'm sure that's true because it's no calls to take. Yes, Harry is not calling William, not at all. And we all know what Harry said in the Oprah interview. He said when it comes to his brother, their relationship is space. And this squatty posted the article from Katie Nichols that was in Vanity Fair and pretty much outed Charles and his horse for leaking. The name of the article is Queen Camilla Drops Everything to Be a Part of King Charles and Prince Harry's Reunion. Yes, it says King Charles went to great lengths to keep his union with Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, Archie, and Lilibet secret, only telling Queen Camilla the meeting was going ahead so she could be by his side. Yes, I bet you that horse absolutely wanted to be there so she could use this for future currency when it comes to those rags over there. She wants positive PR. She wants her and Charles to be popular, and she is willing to do whatever. And she does not like Willie or Kitty. She really doesn't like Kitty. And because of that, she will use this as currency. That is the reason why she wanted to be there, and probably the reason why Charles wanted her there because he is just as low down as she is, or worse. They too are two sides of the same coin. According to sources, not even the Prince and Princess of Wales were made aware that the meeting was taking place. Now that could have came straight from Kensington Palace. Yes, that butter teeth Jason. That's where that could have come from. And if I had to guess, I would say that's exactly where it came from. And the squatty that posted this said that Palace is leaking to Katie Nichols. In her article, she does add a little BS, implying she approached Harry's side. But we know that part is all BS since she was being sued by him in the Daily Fair lawsuit. And look who wasn't consulted at all. And this squatty reposted that squatty and said, Katie Nichols sit there smug as a bug writing a piece about how the King's camp leaked info to her. Meanwhile, she is one of the very same people who claim it's Harry who can't stop talking about private things. Where's the lie? They do that every time, and it really, really makes me angry because Harry and Meghan do not say anything. They don't. And they still be talking about Harry and Meghan are talking all the time. And when it's Effingham Palace and Coppington Palace over there leaking like a sieve. And I'll tell you something else make me mad. When they try to frame a story like Harry and Meghan has leaked something to them when they know it came straight from Effingham Palace or Coppington Palace. Harry and Meghan do not leak to the rags, and that is on period. And they try. They'll even say that they got in contact with Harry and Meghan's office, and in return, they get a plate of dust. So, miss me with this nonsense. But I digress. It goes on to say they know the hypocrisy. They just don't care as long as they are getting something. I do not believe anyone leaked anything of substance to Katie. She is quite irrelevant. If Charles wanted something to get out, he has a whole list of people ahead of Katie that he would leak to. On a side note, if it's true that Charles only hosted the entire family for an hour, he really is a dog SHIT father and grandfather. 4 years of no contact, and all you can give two children is an hour of your time. Now, that's what she said in the article. And I tend to believe it. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But I tend to believe that. That is so quintessential Charles. He doesn't care. He just did it for the PR in the first place. He's not going to spend any time with somebody he doesn't care anything about. He is selfish that way. He just did it like it was a royal engagement. And we know that a royal engagement is either 30 minutes or an hour, usually an hour. So I wouldn't be shocked if that wasn't true. Y'all tell me what y'all think. All right, y'all, I want to switch gears because something came down my timeline that I didn't know anything about. It looks like the Daily Fail was in another lawsuit, and it has just come out that they lost. Yes, they lost a big defamation suit. Did y'all know about that? I didn't. Look what it says. It says the Daily Mail now faces substantial costs and damages. Hooray! I didn't know anything about it. Maybe I was blinded to it, but I did not know another defamation suit was going on against the Daily Fail. And Dale Vince is the person who brought the lawsuit. It says headlines will never be the same again. Dale Vince landmark victory over the Daily Fail. A landmark victory has been handed down by the Court of Appeals. Who knew? I did not know this. It says a landmark victory has been handed down by the Court of Appeals with three of the country's most senior judges Wednesday, the 15th of July, following a 3-year legal battle between Green Enterprise Dale Vince and the Daily Fail. This new ruling will protect people from misleading media articles by establishing a new duty of fairness. Wow. Wow. Y'all tell me in the comments if y'all knew about this. Yes, somebody is hitting those Daily Mail pockets. And let's not forget that big lawsuit that has been filed in New York against the Daily Fail. Because they're really going to get hit in the pockets if that particular plaintiff in America wins. Because here in America, they get really deep into your pockets when you lose. But I digress. It says Dale Vince has won his legal battle against Associated Newspapers Limited, ANL, publisher of the Daily Mail and Mail Plus, over a June 2023 article headline Labor repays £100,000 to sex harassment donor. The article reported on the Labour Party returning donations from David Sierra, who was the subject of an employment tribunal finding for sexual harassment. However, the article prominently featured not one but two pictures of Vince, one highlighted holding a Just Stop Oil banner. Vince argued that this clearly led readers to believe he was the subject of the misconduct allegations. Lawyers acting for Mr. Vinson used GDPR legislation to argue that the Daily Mail had mistreated the labor donor and green industrialist by unfairly processing his personal information. The Daily Mail now face substantial costs and damages. What y'all think? Oh, how sweet it is. I mean, nobody's reporting on it. We got this straight from him. We got this straight from Dale himself. I hadn't saw it in a newspaper. Have y'all saw it in the newspaper? I mean, when Harry lost his case, it was all over everywhere. Even the former editor of the Daily Mail came out and just absolutely poured his little black heart out to his readers and to the public, like he had been vindicated in some way out of that stitch up. But now that Dale Vince has took them to the woodshed, they are absolutely quiet. It is just crickets. It says Dale Vince, OBE, said it sounds grand because it is. Headlines won't be the same again after this ruling. Not just headlines, but articles too. This was a big win. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. It says 3 years ago, the mayor ran a highly misleading headline using pictures of me in the headline, not about me. It was a damaging reputational attack. The Daily Mail thought they could get away with it because they were protected by libel laws that was so old it almost predated the internet. They were wrong. Yes. It says the folly at the heart of the libel law is the assumption that people read both headlines and articles in full. We know that this is not true. We all scan headlines and think we know what the story is about. But that element of the libel law has stood for over 3 decades. While the internet grew, social media came into the world and our attention spans famously shrunk. And they have pulled this on Harry and Meghan time and time and time again. They'll say some old scurrilous thing about Harry and Meghan in the headline and then go into the story and correct the scurrilous thing that they said in the headline. And they have been getting away with it because they could say whatever they wanted to in the headlines. They know people only read the headlines mostly and not the full story, but they would go in the story and put the truth in the body of the story. And the Daily Mail would use this loophole to keep people from suing them because they'll say, we told the truth in the story. If you read the story, we told what the truth was. But the headline, what was scurrilous and defaming. And it is saying now that they're not going to be able to do that. And I'm not saying that this is going to clean up the Daily Fail completely, but boy, is it going to help because, like I said, they use this technique on Harry and Meghan all the time, all the time. This right here is a solid victory. It is. Now, I just hope that this man, Dale Vince, really dig in those pockets and come out with a lot of Daily Fail money. He said, from today's newspaper headlines will never be the same again because media outlets have a new duty of fairness and we the people have a new means to enforce it. Yes, yes, y'all tell me what y'all think, but I am dancing around my office because I love this. It means that Harry and Meghan and the people of Great Britain are going to get a break from the viciousness of the Daily Mail. I saw where Nadia from Loose Women, her and her husband was talking about how that they just had received an apology from the Daily Mail because they put out salacious headlines and stories about them saying that they had said something about the war over there in the Middle East when they had not said any such thing. And so, yeah, and I believe this has a lot to do with it because the Daily Mail wouldn't have backed off like they did. Yes, things are a changing. And all I can say to that is thank God. And this squatty commenting on this said, I can't wait to see how the one filed in the US plays out. A U.S. jury could shut the Daily Mail down with its financial award to the plaintiffs, especially since it's a class action. Yes, here in America, class actions pay a lot of money. And so I am interested as well. I love all of this. It could not happen to a better faux news organization. And the next squatty said, good, their ridiculous boasting last week as if they had been wronged, had been badly shot in the foot as 2K's loss this week shows how wrong this rag is. Yes, I think they're talking about the two cases is this one and Nadia and her husband. Now, if you know another case and that's not it, please put it in the comments. But I don't know the second case. The only thing I know about is Nadia and her husband. And this next squatty says, absolutely brilliant. Well done, especially for the outstanding and importance of someone like you to take them on. They are beyond dreadful, destructive, and divisive. Grateful to you. We have to halt this horror show. Yes, I agree with this one. He was so brave to take him on by himself, and he won. And Harry would have won if it hadn't been a stitch up. You cannot tell me that family didn't get involved and get in cahoots to get that judge placed where he was placed. I don't believe in coincidence. I believe that this was intentional. This man was the barrister in two cases that was involving Prince Harry and these different news rags. And all of a sudden, in the third one against the Mail, he's no longer the barrister, he is the judge. Get out of here. Nobody believes that. That is so clearly corrupt. And this last squatty said, will this be used as a precedent from now on? Maybe the tabloids will stop using Megan Sussex's pictures in headlines and articles that are not about her just to get clicks. And we have saw that time and time and time again. And now they're saying that they cannot do that anymore. And if they do and they sue, They are dead in the water. But you know what I bet they do? They'll do it anyway, and then when you call them out on it, they'll put a little line in the back of the paper saying that they made a mistake. And by then, the damage has already been done. Y'all know that old saying, a lie has gone around the world while the truth is just putting its pants on. They will apologize and then go back to doing the very same thing. And that's pretty much what they did with Nadia. I mean, I can't with these people. They always find a loophole. But I want to switch gears and talk about Sarah Vine and what she had the nerve to print in the pages of that rag, the Daily Fail. It looks like she is running scared after the murder of that politician, Ann Wallacom. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Now, I hadn't spoke much on this lady because she used to be on Jeremy Vine all the time, and she would say the nastiest things about Harry and Meghan. So I decided to take my mom's advice, what she used to tell me growing up. If you didn't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I chose not to address it or put it in my podcast. But it looks like Sarah Vine has brought it around to the point where I'm going to have to talk about it. And I'm not going to talk about the politician because she's gone and she was a nasty old woman. I'm not going to pretend like she was a good person. She was a nasty old biddy who caused a lot of pain for a lot of people because she was really a far right type individual. But like I said, I'm not going to talk about her. She had a tragic end, and so I'm not going to say anything about that. I want to talk about Sarah Vine because Sarah Vine wrote this article. It says, my family was targeted by a killer, but I never had Ann Wallacom's courage in the face of such vitriol on social media. It's time to end this market in hate. Sarah Vine. Did you hear what I said? She said it is time to end this market in hate. This woman is the one who wrote the famous lines that she had a niggling feeling about Meghan. Yes, this is the same person that wrote that Meghan was almost straight out of Compton. Yes, this is the same person who have written hate story after hate story after hate story about Meghan. But now all of a sudden, when, karma kind of creeps close to her door, she wants to try to pretend like she is not who she is. And like we should forget all of the hate that she has spewed on Harry and Meghan and so many other people as well, but mostly Harry and Meghan. That whole cauldron of witches over there at the Daily Fail take turns spewing their bile on Harry and Meghan. And this squatty that posted this said, this woman who spent endless hours writing hateful articles about Duchess of Sussex, hashtag Meghan Markle, creating a very real danger and threat to her with all of the vitriol generated, has the audacity to say this. The irony is making me dizzy. I need to go lie down in a dark room. Yes, the irony of this woman to say something like this. She is a hate for profit journalist. This is what she does for a living. She is a hate merchant. But yet and still, here she is trying to pretend she is not who we know her to be. I cannot with these people. I cannot. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. But this squatty said she needs to take a good look in the mirror. And this next squatty said she needs a magic mirror just to be able to see her neck. Woo, I'm I'm telling you, squatties absolutely are cold-blooded sometimes. And this next squatty said, I believe she wants to stop the hate for profit the minute she writes a full article detailing an exact apology in all the ways she dehumanized Megan Sussex, including receipts of her benefiting from such. Then donate all that money to charity. At Sarah Vine, tagged her in it. Yes, but we all know this is all about her. It's not about anybody else. A person who is willing to be a low life for a living is not a person that has a moral core. Sarah Vine is a hate merchant for a living, and she relished in it. And also, another really far left politician, his name is Nigel Farage. Yes, and I'm telling you, he is a F face. I want to say the word, but I won't. Weasel. And he is running scared as well, since this other politician was killed in her home. And that's understandable. And he is trying to get security from the government. And it says this, breaking Shabana Mabu, I hope I'm pronouncing the name right, offers Nigel Farage a meeting with the Home Office to discuss security measures for him and those in public life. Now, I am willing to bet you that they have already did a security assessment on Nigel Farage. What you want to bet? That weasel, that F-face. But somehow Harry's got put on pause in March. The king's son. And the squatty that reposted this said Prince Harry got a phone number. Nigel Farage gets a meeting with the chair of RAVAC. The difference in the treatment is glaring. It is shameful. It is shameful. And this other squatty reposted that same article and said, where is Prince Harry's risk management assessment? You best believe Nigel Farage has gotten his. They seem to care more about Nigel Farage, that weasel's life, than the king's son. Now that right there is a glaring example of what is going on over there at Ravac. How embarrassing. Give Harry a number, but gave Nigel Farage a meeting and probably security. Not saying he doesn't need it, but Harry needs it as well. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. I don't think much of it. They make me sick. And y'all know I love to end on a positive note, so I am going to end with this post right here. And it says, no matter what happens, I will rise. No matter the conditions, I will rise. No matter the circumstances, I will rise. They doubt me, I rise. They reject me, I rise. They ridicule me, I rise. No matter what happens, I will rise. Author unknown. And the squatty that posted this with a beautiful picture of our Duchess said, those whom God has blessed, no enemy can destroy. Therefore, she will always rise. Yes, yes, yes. Come on through. I love it. And of course, I wanted to end with this beautiful picture of Harry when he was at Scotty's Little Soldiers. I think it's Summer Festival. Yes, Scotty's Little Soldiers. Is this not the best picture? It just looking at it makes you happy. It does. All right, y'all. Y'all know I always enjoy my time with y'all, and I will see you soon. If you want to support the channel, you know how to do it. Go in my bio. I have Zelle, I have PayPal, and I have Buy Me a Coffee. And if you just want to do it right here on the YouTube, look below. You'll find the super thanks button. And if you want to be a member of the reading club, you will find a link below as well. And if you don't want to do it on YouTube, go over to patreon.com. And I have a reading club over there as well. You can support me over there, or you can just join for free and see what I'm up to, because I post quite a bit over there. Not all about Harry and Meghan, whatever I come across on these internet streets. And I don't think I can get away with it on YouTube. I put it over there on Patreon. So yeah, go over there and join for free, or go over there and support me. Also, you know what I'm going to say next. If you have any hypes, hype your girl up. Yes, if you have the hype button showing up, please hype your girl up. Yes, it doesn't show up for everyone, but the ones that do, please hype your girl up. It really helps the podcast. It gets it out to new eyeballs, and it really helps our community to grow. We have a lot of new people, we do, and I am thrilled about it. So yes, we always want our tribe to grow. All right, y'all, I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.